Hello viewers and welcome to yet another review. I am your host Archivist, and today we will be taking a look at the new dungeon crawling MMO, Marvel Heroes. Marvel Heroes is heavily inspired by the Diablo franchise in everything from appearance to specific game mechanics. However, will this superhero game stand on its own 2 feet or come across as a failed clone experiment? The story in Marvel Heroes is fairly interesting, but if anything a little incoherent. The story begins with Doctor Doom defeating a Watcher with the Cosmic Cube and attempting to take over the world using Hydra as his own personal army. It is your job as a Marvel hero to stop Doom and prevent the world from falling into tyranny. The game's story is told through comic book style cutscenes that link the drawn out action sequences together. They are nice to look at and really help to draw you into the comic book universe. However, I will say that the voice acting, for me at least, was a little sketchy, and in some cases simply bland. Another little niggle I have is that your character of choice may not necessarily feature in a cutscene. For example, whereas Thing was my character of choice, he did not appear in the cutscenes preceding the mission he had just completed. Instead, 5 other characters were taking all the credit. Moving on, the gameplay in Marvel Heroes is very reminiscent of Diablo, understandably considering that the developers from Diablo 2 have been working on it. In general combat, you click on enemies to perform your basic attacks such as punch or laser blasts, but are also given more advanced abilities to use such as defensive maneuvers or area of effect attacks. The combat is fairly simple but at the same time quite satisfying, although I did feel it began to grow old a lot faster than in Diablo 3. There is also variation within the different character choices, which each offer slightly different types of gameplay. Whereas the Thing is great in close quarters combat, characters such as Storm are more adept at fighting foes from afar. Moreover, a major pillar of this game's progression is augmenting your character with various abilities and gear. As your character levels up, you are able to assign different abilities to your character of choice. These may be passive bonuses that buff your character at all times, or combat abilities that can actively be used by the player. The gear system in this game is appropriate, yet slightly underwhelming. Unlike in Diablo, gear you equip does not show up on your character, which made me feel a little as if I wasn't really getting any stronger. However, they do give various benefits such as increased spirit or defense. Although you can purchase different costumes in the game's store, but these are purely cosmetic. Similarly to other games in the genre, there is a crafting system which can be used to make new gear and even consumables that will aid you during combat. You can make these items using materials that are dropped off of enemies that you fight. Now onto the graphics, which I believe to be fairly bland if I am honest. But firstly, one positive note about the game is that it has a slightly cel-shaded look, which is appropriate for a game such as this. However, I felt that there were major inconsistencies with regards to character details. While certain Iron Man costumes look great, especially the ones from the movies, characters such as Cable appear to have been slightly short-changed. The environments as well aren't exactly stunning. The city model is used far too much across the game's various chapters, which can make the game feel a lot longer than it actually is. However, there are a few nice little touches such as the water effects, but these are sadly seldom seen. Furthermore, the destruction in the game, while frequent, also could have been better. Benches, cars and other random obstacles can all be destroyed by the player. However, when they are broken, the animation is a little underwhelming. Lastly, with regards to the graphics, I do have to say that I did quite like the ability animations, especially in the case of Storm's lightning. Now to the lasting appeal, and being a dungeon crawling MMO, this game naturally does well in this area. Or at least it should. Although there are lots of characters to choose from, presuming you have unlocked them, this doesn't stop the game getting old pretty fast. Expectedly, things change up a bit when you run through content with other players, but them being there doesn't really make much of an impact with regards to combat dynamics. As you may have noticed, the only 2 characters I own are Storm and the Thing. Thing was my initial choice, and Storm I unlocked midway through the campaign. This is because I can simply not justify purchasing any of the other characters available in the store, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to playing the game in the Mark 6 Iron Man suit. In conclusion, Marvel Heroes was a bit of a disappointment for me personally. It didn't quite feel as satisfying as other games in its genre, and the store prices really put me off investing more time. I award Marvel Heroes for PC a 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching, see you next time.